Hey guys, so finally the promised aquaponics greenhouse video. We've been up and running for about a month now with fish and plants, and I figured I'd give you the guided tour. Quick note about the exterior. I did build it above grade. We've got a natural swale here, and it's pretty uneven, and it was just going to be very problematic to put the thing on grade. I know a lot of aquaponics greenhouses are they're on grade because of the load issues. I just made sure to build it beefy enough to handle the water load that the members have to bear. So going inside, you can see I've got 4 beds, all fed off a single aquarium. Probably the easiest thing to do would just be to go on a water cycle tour. So we'll start off here. The beds are fed by this spigot. All 4 are fed off the 2 central lines. The water fills the beds. The grow medium is this, I think it's called hydrotone. It's an expanded clay. The nice thing about it, it's rounded, so it's not really sharp and rips up your fingers when you're working in it. The water fills the bed to a predetermined amount. The bell siphon, it's a very simple design. The bell siphon kicks in and drains the tank. The tank then drains into the sump under here, and I did put a crook in the drain to help build back pressure. I picked that up off a YouTube video, and it's worked very, very well. So I do owe a big debt of gratitude to all the folks out there who have put YouTube videos up. They helped me avoid a lot of rookie mistakes, and I am extremely grateful. Oh, there goes one now. So a big thank you. So the water drains from the beds into the sumps. Now I didn't have room for one large sump, so I had this brilliant idea that I was going to split it into 4 sumps, and that each bed would have its own sump tank. I'm putting that brilliant into quotes because I did run into a few fluid dynamic problems, such as this sump right here. As you can see, it does have 2 pipes into it. One of them is the aquarium overflow. The balance point for the drains and the pump and how it was running, this bed was sitting very high. So I was very concerned that when the bed was going to drain, the standing water in the sump was going to be too high, and I was going to have overflows. So I put in a secondary system. That's that 1-inch pipe there that links. It just runs the perimeter of the greenhouse and links all the the sumps independent from the pump. So I've got 2 systems working for me to balance them out, and it's definitely working. You can see that one does get a little bit high, but that water is kicking off. That bell siphon is breaking, and it's just fine, and there's still plenty of room, so it is working. So the water leaves the sump, hits the pump, comes up, it's lifted into this converted IBC tote. It looks like, pretty much that's it seems like what everybody does is convert these into aquariums. I do have about 20 years experience in aquariums, so I felt pretty confident that I could keep the fish alive. So far so good. We still have summer to get through, so it should be interesting. Normally I've got a white sheet over this to kind of cut down on solar gain in the aquarium and keep that water cooler and not superheat. I did come up with the idea of using some dowels in these holes that are created when the frame. I did remove this top portion of the frame here, and I can just put these pickets in, and then that's what my sheet sits on to cover the aquarium. We can take a look on the inside. I do just have the starter fish in here now. They're just feeder goldfish, actually. They're all up at the top of the water because they think they're going to get fed. It's got good quality water, good temperature, good pH. I do have some algae started, which is very common in aquariums. Even indoors, we'll get algae started. It's the green kind, so it's showing me that I've got good water quality. I do have a pond filter at the bottom that I threw in. Seems to be doing a very good job of filtering the water, particulates, and some solid waste. Hopefully some solid waste are being captured there, and then the others are captured in the pre-filters. I did take care when I cut off the top of the IBC tote, and I've used it as a lid, as you can see. I just hinged it, and it made a nice cover. I installed a little handle hardware there. It does seem, from what I've seen in just my very, very short tenure, evaporation is a very, very big problem that we're dealing with. I'm burning through 10, maybe 15 gallons. I am trying to come up with an idea of covering the sumps, at least partially covering them. I think I'm getting a lot of evaporation there. So, again, to continue our water, the water's dumped into the aquarium here. You can see it fills, and then these outlets, which you can see that pipe there, they feed the pre-filters for the grow beds. The water dumps in here at an elbow, hits the bottom of the bucket, slows it down, particulates fall out. Hopefully that I'll have a, that's where we'll capture the solid fish waste. I did clean this morning, and there was solid waste in there, so it does seem to be functioning. The water then lifts up through this filter mat, which is a pool filter that I've just cut to fit. It drains down into an elbow, and then lifts back up. Good old water seeking its own level. It'll work for you every time. And then that travels and is split and feeds both grow beds. And I've got one on each side. We've taken a kind of a shotgun approach to the plants that we're growing. We don't really know what grows well, what doesn't. It's kind of the grand experiment. So I've got a lot in here. It probably looks crowded, but I would think with a system like this, high nutrients, you could crowd them. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to see how it performs. Like I said, we've got a lot in here. I just planted these last week. They seem to have really embraced the aquaponic method. These are cantaloupes. Eggplant. The squash has gone nuts. It was maybe a third that size when we planted it. Basil. Oh man, the basil smells wonderful. We actually used a little bit of it in some soup today. More squash. My wife wanted a sage plant. She's told me what that is, and I cannot remember. Let me see if I can. Maybe lavender. Anyway, and then we've got some lettuces. The lettuce performance has been mediocre up to now. Yeah, I am seeing some new growth in here, so I'm hopeful. You can see we've had some problems with it. Hopefully it'll take off and perform a little bit better. We've got some cilantro. Again, cilantro also a mediocre performance initially, but this is all new growth, so we'll have to wait and see. The tomatoes are going crazy. Doing very well. I actually had to clean some tomato roots out of my bell siphon here this morning. So that tells you that they are rooting, and they are rooting nicely. These are peppers. I've got yellow and red. I just planted this oregano last week. It seems to be doing very well. It's also showing some new growth right there. You can see the tomatoes have started to flower, which is amazing. So we'll have to figure out, I know there's some tricks to pollination that I'm going to have to kind of brush up on because I don't have bees to do it for me. Well, that's pretty much the grand tour. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. It's been very rewarding so far. I did gotta go into it with the expectation of a lot of dead plants and a lot of dead fish, but pleasantly surprised at the performance so far. We shall see.